The St. Vincent College football team unfortunately lost this past Saturday against Westminster with a score of 17-6, but I'm here with Bob Colbert to hear a little bit about what happened at the game. Can you give me an overall summary of the game?
Thinking about the game overall, a couple things come to mind. Number one, we went into the game a little bit shorthanded. We had 6 starters missing from our starting lineup. So what happens, we were playing a bunch of young players with not a lot of experience, and some of their mistakes showed up. Otherwise, I thought that our effort was really pretty good overall, and that's what I asked them to do, was to play hard and give ourselves a chance to win. It was 0-0 till about, I think it was about midway through the third quarter. So we were hanging in there with a good running team, and they're a good defensive team too. And I thought that overall, though, we're obviously disappointed in the results of the game, but I was pleased with our players' effort, and just have to get a little bit better on our execution.
Can you tell me about the quarterback change from Spiel to Deacons and how you think it affected the game?
We made a change at the quarterback position. I started Mac Deacons, a young sophomore, and it was just his time. He had not had a lot of game action yet. Manny Spiel had played quite a bit. Andy Borgen had played some, and Matt Deacons, who we think has potential to be a very good quarterback, had not had any game experience yet. So we wanted to give him an opportunity in the game. Overall, I thought that he played pretty well for the first time out. He made some good decisions. He made the correct audibles when he was called to change the play. So overall, it was a good performance by a player who had not really played in a varsity game here at St. Vincent. And so you go to last year, he played in a couple of JV games, and I thought overall he accounted well for himself. Did it affect the game? I thought he gave us a chance. He has a good arm, and he ran a couple plays that we asked him to run, a couple options, and I think he executed those pretty well.
What did the defensive stop at the goal line in the first quarter do for the team?
We made that big stop on the first, I think it was maybe their second drive in the first quarter, and when they missed the field goal, and that was a big lift for our team. Our team has a history recently of playing very well when we get backed up to our goal line. They've made a number of great defensive stops in the last 2 years that we made a joke sometimes we don't seem to play the run well until we get inside our own 10-yard line. But I thought our kids played well there, and it obviously gave us a chance to stay in the game early in the game, because when a team goes down and scores early on one of their first or second possession, it can be a little bit deflating. So I was really happy for our kids, and it's a great credit to them not to give up down there.
When the first half of the game came up scoreless, what was said in the locker room during halftime?
At halftime, we talked about a couple of things. Offensively, we talked about we had to pick up our running game. We were not rushing the ball very well at all in the first half, so we talked about that on offense. On defense, we made a couple adjustments because they were showing us some new plays, some new formations, so the defensive staff had to adjust to that. And again, I think that there was some good discussion going on there, because we took them into the middle of the third quarter before the score actually changed. So I thought that our kids answered the challenge in terms of playing a little bit harder and making the necessary adjustments caused by some of the things that Westminster did that we hadn't seen on film yet.
What will you focus on most during the off week?
Well, we have an off week coming up here. We don't play until homecoming in 2 weeks. So we'll use the days of practice here to get back to some fundamental work, maybe take a look at a couple of other players that haven't had a chance to play yet and see if they can help us. We still have to overcome some injury situations. I'm hoping that we'll have most of the guys back who didn't start this week because of injuries. I'm hoping that they'll have these 2 weeks to to get cured and get back with us on a full-time basis. Now, we've lost a couple of players for the year because of injuries, but we'll just have to overcome those. But that's what we're going to do this week, is concentrate on getting back to some fundamentals, getting back to some of the things that we should be doing offensively and defensively, and hopefully we can polish off those things and then start to prepare for Teal next week.